I've done it again. I've done it again. Well, I haven't done it again. I've never done this before. But video editing, it evades me. I'm quite good at putting my hands to things. But anyway, I can't believe this. But I've just recorded a video on reloading ammunition on the new GoPro camera as well, which is a great piece of kit. Really, really good. It helps me. I just don't help it, because I've just recorded a 45-minute video that I will be editing down, by the way, with no sound on. So it's a 40-odd minute video of me doing this. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'll do my best. My daughter, Emily, has just said, Dad, you're going to have to do a voiceover on it. So I'm going to attempt to do a voiceover video, not on purpose, not because I want to or you deserve that, because nobody deserves to have me in their ear for 40-odd minutes waffling on monotone Dino. So I apologise in advance, but here comes a video on reloading with me talking over the top of it and some music on. I apologise, but here we go. We're going to give it a go. Let's go. Well, here goes nothing. The first unscheduled voiceover edition of the Wonky Workbench. You may have to bear with me on this one, because I'm new to video editing. Doing a voiceover is a whole new practice for me. And I didn't want to be doing it on this one neither. This was down to my own incompetence as to why I'm doing it. So here you see, we are back in the Wonky Workbench. It is Boxing Day, my 18th wedding anniversary, and I'm just getting the pleasantries out the way with here. Emptying my pockets because I'm as prepared as ever. Here, there's a little bit of a surprise because I think I found some cash. But it turns out to be a shopping receipt. So this video was planned to be an ammo reloading video, following on from a little session that I had yesterday with my dad, where I'd planned to do some reloading using some new equipment that I had, but we had a bit of a problem, which I'll come on to later on in the video. But here I'll be explaining where we left off in the previous reloading video, which was a little while ago now, that we have some brass ready to go. Here I'm commenting on my own air conditioning and my cup that I've got saying I love shooting. So in a previous video, if you have watched it, we prepared the brass ready for reloading, which we'll move on to shortly. And at this stage I was introducing what kit we'll be using and where I got the ideas from. So there I have just showed you a case that has a new primer in the bottom. So these cases are now ready to reload. The primers that I've used are Magtech small rifle primers number 7.5s. The brass that's in front of me, I think there's only 30 odd rounds that was there, 30 odd cases that were there ready to go, and they are all prepared, like I said, to accept new bullet tips. I'm moving here, I don't know where I'm moving to. By the looks of it, we're getting a better camera position. Oh, it is better as well. Oh, even I'm surprised by that. This is my lever. This is my cup. I am going to be so bad at this voiceover. I apologise to all of yous. So there you can see the setup that we've got. We've got the 30 odd rounds in the case holder, ready to go. I am pointing at the press there to say that the bullet seat and die has already been set up to around about the right case length, the overall length of the bullet when it's finished. The powder that we'll be using today is from Vitivore and it's N133. This powder is recommended by a good friend of mine. It's sort of a mid-range for the speed of the burn, and it's a good clean powder. We should be able to get upwards of 3,100 feet per second with that. The bullet tips, as you've just saw, are from Sierra. They are 223 Remington Sierra Blitz King. They're a boat tail bullet with a polymer tip on the end. The polymer tip not only helps it fly, but when it dissipates down to the heat and force on impact, it opens up the front of the bullet itself to have a more catastrophic effect. So it fragments the bullets. Oh, bit of waving. That's the powder dispenser that I was waving at there, which I've set up for the volume of powder that needs to be dispersed. And then we need to check those weights on some scales. Book time. This is the 2nd edition Lee reloading book. And in this book, it gives us the reloading data for each different bullet type, with all the different powder combinations. More importantly, it gives us a minimum load for the powder in grains, and it gives us a do not exceed load in grains. So here I am fumbling along, trying to find where my powder is, because I'm as prepared as ever. So all the powders are there displayed down that left hand side, and we're looking for N133, and then that will give us our minimum load and our do not exceed load weighted in grains. So while I'm fumbling through this book, yesterday we used, me and my dad, we used a manual set of Lee reloading scales. They were zeroed using the little hanging tray that it comes on. And when I dispensed the powder from the powder dispenser into it, we got it to 20.8 grains, which is the minimum load. I was going to load 3 sets of 10. Minimum load, halfway between minimum and do not exceed, and the do not exceed limit. That was the plan yesterday. But when I pulled out, oh, that's the dipper. We won't be using that. When I dispensed the powder, I put it onto the scales, and it was well short. And I have a powder dripper, which is like a turning device that has powder in it that'll put like single grains in at a time, so you can fine tune it. I was having to go for ages on that to try and get it to the right weight. When the right weight was displayed on the scales, when it had evened itself back up again, I then put it into a case and it overflowed. And that shouldn't happen on a minimum load. 20.8 or 21 grains in a 223 shell should be well below the shoulder of the casing. And when I'd done it yesterday, it came all the way up and it overspilled with a couple of grains. I tried tapping the bullets to try and make it so that it would like go in case it piled up inside, but it had no effect. So just out of curiosity, I pressed a bullet into it, and it actually damaged the bullet head on the press. I had to put that much force on it, and obviously I know then there is definitely something wrong and I need to go back to the drawing board. So here I've showed you my little Hornady digital scales, which I tested the calibration on. It's set to grains, and then I showed you the little spout tray. God, is that even a word? Spout tray. It's a little stainless steel tub with a little pouring spout on the end. So I've zeroed it on the little electronic scales, and I'm about to dispense some powder. Here I'm explaining that the volume-based powder dispenser has a chamber inside which you adjust a screw on to adjust the size of the chamber. In the book it says around about 1.6 cc's, so that's what I had it set to at first. You flip the lever down, flip it back up, and it dispenses powder into your little spout tray. I'm going to start calling it that now. So lever up, lever down, and we have powder in there. When I put that on the scales, then it should give me a true reading of how many grains are actually in there. 23.9 we have, and my do not exceed is around 24.8 or something like that. So for this exercise and for this video, I was quite happy with that because I'm up near the upper limit, and I will be getting velocities of above 3,000 feet per second, which is where you want to be with your 223. So using a little funnel, I put the powder into the casing and then move on to the next one. And because I had a little bit of a mishap yesterday, I did weigh every single one, and I do try and tell the camera while I'm doing it that what the weight of it actually is, and it does vary by 0.0 something of a grain here and there, but overall I didn't have to readjust the powder dispenser. It was sort of between 23.7 and 24 dead on. So all of which I was completely fine with. So as we move through this, I'm going to speed it up for you because all the stuff that I was talking about in the video was relevant to the actual thing that I was doing. So we'll have it sped up for now while I go through them all. But in essence, all I'm doing here is putting roughly 24 grains of powder into each casing all the way through. So the result of yesterday's mishap, while I'm filling all of these up, was later on in the video I'll actually take some bullets apart, the ones that I made yesterday. I made 4 overall with varied amount of powder in using the scales that I had, to see how much powder was actually in there. Bear in mind that my do not exceed limit for this bullet and powder combination was 24.1 grains. I was pulling out on average round about 28 or 29 grains of powder, which for those of you who know anything about shooting, reloading or anything like that, that would have been a really bad day for me. If I'd have decided to put that in my rifle, not only would I have bits missing off my face and my hands, I would also have bits missing from my rifle. So it would have been a bad day indeed. I would never ever have blindly tested those rounds. I just wanted to break them apart just to have a little look-see to see what it was like. So not far to go now to get this powder in. Oh, there, I'm showing you the scales, how it measures. I was actually talking in the video about the same things as what I've just been talking about here. Oh, something happened outside. I don't know what that was. So last row of 5 now, and I think I'm doing some sort of rescue here, because looking back at the video, I do waffle a hell of a lot. It's not a very instructional video if it's just me waffling on. Just put the powder in the cases, Dean. Probably telling some really ill-timed dad jokes there. Right, that's it. We have powder in cases. Here I am showing you one of the bullets from yesterday. I'm saying that you could feel it in the weight of the bullet that something was wrong. And the tip of the bullet didn't look right neither. So you can see there, it's not in focus great, but there's a ring around the bullet tip that's under the polymer tip. It's where obviously it's got lead inside the copper jacket, and it's where it squished the copper into the lead. I had to use that much force on the press to be able to get it in. So here I am getting my little spout tray back out and some tools to be able to pull this bullet apart. Oh, nearly fell off my stool. My dad's bought me a new stool, but it's like a motorbike seat, and if you get onto it wrong, it nearly knocks the stool over. Very graceful, Dean. And this is me looking for safety goggles. Boy, I'm going to. Hold the bullet, use the pliers, wiggle that bullet tip out side to side, and out it comes. So now we're going to re-dispense this powder from the cartridge. It's compressed in there because the bullet really had to squish it in. We get it into our little tray. Oh no, I remember this. We didn't zero the scales with the tray on. That's the spout tray. 0. If I remember rightly, this first one that I put was round about 27.3 or something. And I do think that there was some grain still left in there that were just compressed at the bottom. You may have heard a little bit of screaming in the background of my daughter shouting one of the dogs bear. That was because it's grooming night and they've just come out of the bath and they were having the nails cut, and accidentally Barney, the red lab, he's had his dew claw snipped all the way off and there's blood everywhere. But anyway, crisis averted, that's all sorted now. Back to the video. So, I am weighing off the powder that was in there, that bullet that I was discarding, showing you the ones that I did make. And like I said, we had upwards of 27 something or other grains in there. So at this stage, all I do is I go ahead and I dismantle the other bullets that I'd made, knowing that they were far too dangerous to even think about putting in a rifle. I've just sped this part of the video up, just while I'm dismantling these. There's nothing exciting going on apart from me spilling powder everywhere. Trying to get all of the powder out of them so I can get an average for how colossal the mess up was. And I think we end up over 4 bullets. There you go, 106.6 grains. which over 4 bullets is way too much for any 223. So that powder back in the bottle and away we go. So here I am just getting the bullet tips out of the box and sitting them in the neck of the casing, ready to go into the press whilst casually waffling on about something else. So they're a boat tail bullet, which means they're tapered towards the rear, so I can sit them just ever so slightly in the neck and they'll hold themselves there until I get them up into the press. So here we are at the pressing stage. I've moved the camera further down so you can see it, and this is the first round that's in. So it's important at this stage to check to see if the bullet's seated correctly in the neck, and also check your case overall length. So my case overall length for this is 2.260 inches, and what we got there, 2.257, which is okay, and we can just give it a little tiny turn like so, and then we can check on the next one. So a nice smooth action in the press. You don't want to be forcing these in because the jacketed bullets are quite thin. So we're just a little bit too high there, so I can give that a little tweak back, put the same bullet back in, and I can push it further in. I'd rather it be too long than too short, because at least I can rectify that. Taking it out, give it another little check. And what are we this time? 2.261. We're good at that. So we can keep on going at that. And each one is a couple of thous different. As long as you're within that ballpark of what it says and you're happy with it, then carry on. 6-0, that's what we're looking for. So I still, just because I'm doing a small batch of these, I still check every single overall length as we're going through and make sure that we get them all spot on. So just going to speed up this process now. We do a little bit of dialing, we get them on all the way through. Remembering after each one, a quick check of the bullet tip, make sure it's seated properly, overall length, and everything looks good before it goes into the box. Nearly at the end now, still double checking as we go. So, and just like that, we're at the end of this video. At this stage, all I'm doing is doing the usual exit blurb, apologising for everything that I've done and what I haven't done, and saying my final goodbyes. Included in that is me saying thank you very much for watching all these videos. I know some of them are painful to get through, but if you are a subscriber and you do like the videos, it does warm my heart that there's people out there that actually watch this stuff. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.